Back at it again with the comp ass. What you're about to see is 3.5 hours and a culmination of numerous problems. So just about every single wire in here was busted. And I'm not even joking you. I'm going to show you that this harness, I'll put the part number somewhere in here. I'm going to pull these guys back. So I just spent 3.5 hours extending all these, trying to get them as close as possible to the colors so I can extend this plug and this plug. Now the problem is these wires are very brittle. The style wire is stiff. Let me pull this back and I'll show you what I mean. So you see, I don't know if someone installed this wrong, but all these are pinched and broken. Look at this. Now, I called the dealer and they asked me, and they told me, have fun digging. And that's what we tried to do, is dig to find this harness that goes from there all the way in, doing the power windows. We had no power windows, speaker wasn't working, which we're going to do this radio upgrade. But before we do that, we had to fix this issue. Now, getting to this was a nightmare all of its own as well, because I pulled all these little rubbers to get out of my way, pulled it from back behind here. You got 2 Torx holding in place on top of this little plastic, which I have to put back as well, and that goes in here. Now, I don't even know if I can do that, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to hack this up, because I want the slack. Maybe I have to see what happens with this, because I'm extending all of this with the anticipation I'm going to put it in the actual body and have brand new wires going across, which are a lot more pliable, like the speaker wire. Look, so easy it is to bend. These are the factory. Look how hard it is to bend. Same with the power wires. Now, because they're so brittle inside, from opening and closing, they all decided to snap. So I do want this through this, so I might modify this and allow it to go through, because I still need the rubber to seal in here. Now, getting this off wasn't that bad. You just pull the rubber back around it to expose this. Then you got the clips just to push them with a wonderful tool that I could probably not find with all these extra wires. It's my handy dandy hook tool, this guy right here. So you just push this in, pop this out. Now, did I have to do all this? Absolutely, because it's too much. No slack. Getting your hands in here is just not easy. So with as many wires I could find, I have more over here, and I got them reasonably about the same thickness, but these wires are a little bit more easier to bend, you see, rather than these. They're just too stiff. That's the problem. They're just way too stiff. So from opening and closing, like I said, it just snapped. So there's screws behind the speaker grill. Those are easy, just pop off. There's Torx 10 mils under here, which is what I found, 10 mil under here. All these, 3 for the regulator, which are right there. I mean, there's screws all over the place. You just have to keep taking this. This doesn't even matter. This actually is for the mirror, so you can take the mirror off and not taking the door panel off. But there's screws everywhere. I mean, you pull this panel off, this panel pops out in your hand. Okay, there's another screw down here into the cubby underneath the little rubber, which you'll see. It's all right here. This is the actual panel. Look at this. So this whole panel pops out. Now, this is technically only for 2 years, this issue. Whether it's going to happen to you, whether I'll get views on this video or not, you see, like the speaker right here. That's easy. Look, this pops right off. They're just clips. Clip. You see? Then you got screws that holding in the speaker, which I'm going to end up replacing as well. That's not even going to be my video for this because this video is already out there of the speaker replacement. But getting the door out, you got another bolt right there, another bolt under here. These are two huge screws in there, so it just allows you to get, you see, once you remove the speaker, there's more back behind there. I mean, they're just all over the place. It's just amazing how many screws were actually holding this panel up. And all it really did is just sort of give me some wiggle room, no pun intended. So I'm going to continue on. And this is 3.5 hours so far of just meticulously running a wire through the boot. And I started using this. That just gave out. That was a piece of wood. So I ended up getting a copper brass line to go through. You can use a zip tie. It doesn't really matter. This is easy because it's a little bit more stiffer. So I'm going to run more wires up through here. And now I'm onto the bigger, thicker wires because this one technically is already extended. So I'm going to carefully pull these guys to extend them. You see all of them are coming through with each other. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to tape all these up together. I'll get my voltmeter to make sure continuity is working. I'll make sure whatever's on this side comes on this side, or even just over here, just to make sure we have contact from this side to this side. So yeah, fun stuff, man, fun stuff. So now it's off to the thick wires, and we're gonna get as much as possible. Some speaker wires a little on the thicker side. This is what I mean by, you see, so the wires just sort of flop on each other. You see, these are just way too stiff. This is factory. This is ridiculous. These are all, you know, motor wires for the windows. She had no windows. She had nothing. Door switches didn't work. nothing worked. And now it's throwing me an airbag light because I'm sure there's a sensor in the door. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on and extend these, and I'll show you the end result with after extending them. So I'm gonna stop this because I'm not gonna pause it. It's just gonna be way too much time, and do these individually one by one, and hopefully I can get this to sit properly. So here's how we're extending them. One can argue, let's solder that, and I'm gonna say no, because solder is stiff and it'll just make it even worse. I would think that what I did was just a nice tight tape, and this thing ain't going nowhere. And if you really want to solder all this, go right ahead. You've got 152 solder connections, and it's going to add another 5 hours to your job. So you want to do it, go right ahead. I'm going to do it this way because I want this wire sitting in there anyway, so it's not going to go anywhere. Once you tape them all together, you should be fine. But you see what I'm saying? Where they're all busted. Watch, I'm going to take this one orange red. So I'm going to come on this side and grab orange red, and watch how busted this wire is. Watch this. Okay, now you see? Watch, you see? So not only was one on this side busted, this is also busted. Look at this. So cut it off, cut the bad part off. See? Now let's hope on this side it's good. Yeah, it's not bad. All the wires are there. Some, I mean, it didn't even have any wires. You'd strip it back. Like, take for example this blue-gray one. I stripped it back. There was nothing on the wire. That's how stretched and broken the wire was. So, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do them one by one. I just grabbed the speaker wires. They're thick enough to get away with it. I mean, I'm only going. Here, this is my ruler. I marked every wire from here to here, so I'm extending it about a foot. Yeah, 14, 15 inches. So I'm gonna tape this up nice and neat, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I mean, yes, you see, nice tight roll, please, and then you smug it. If I pulled it apart, if I pulled hard enough, yes, it will come apart, but I'm gonna tape them together here and on the other side. So all of them are gonna be taped together, and I'm cutting them just about all of them the same. Right where, I mean, you can clearly tell where they all broke. So most of the connections are going to be all around the same. So some tape and a zip tie, nice and tight, shouldn't go anywhere. And I'm going to stuff it right in the door jamb, not leave it in the problem area. So let's just keep working. So you're definitely going to have fun with these 10 mils because they are for the regulator. So the best I could do was put the window all the way up. All right, now everything is working as we see. This is all temporary. Like, that window just went down. There you go. Window, window, window. All right, mirrors are working. So everything, left side, that's moving. Right side, right side. You see it moving. Mirrors moving. Okay, the only thing that's not working is this stupid thing. Who cares? We ain't got children, so who cares? Maybe because the door's open. Who knows? No airbag light. And what I got to do is stuff this in here. So there's room back behind here. I'm going to stuff this back and put this back. So all in here is all new wiring. This is not factory. On the other side too. I taped it up as much as I possibly could. So what I'm going to do is, obviously you got to go behind this. I'm going to replace the speakers, but this was not fun, by the way. But I'm going to put this plastic and see what I'm going to do with this. I might cut it because I just want the rubber to sit nice and tight against the body. That's all I really care about. So I might cut it, might see which one is which. This is obviously the bottom one. This is the bigger one. So let's play with that and we'll be back showing you the rest of the nonsense. All right, so this is what I want. I want to push them through. So this little hang up blocks this. So with your handy dandy hook tool, this is what I did. So you see right there, that's where it stops there. So if you take this guy and shove him in there, little right there, bend it out of the way and push right through. So that's what I want. I want to make sure this all the way through, so this extra slack, this extra wires, the actual bad connections are actually in the door. So we're going to stuff this in. There is room. This is kind of stupid the way this setup is. You see this sort of like blocks it. I don't know, I gotta weasel up a little bit, down a little bit, make sure my connections don't move that far. I got some play, but both hands would be better than one. So let me finish this up and I'll show you the end result. I'll put this rubber back on so it snaps right back in. I know you don't have this much slack. So I put the rubber on. There is only one way to put it on because it does say up. Good movie. So we're going to stuff all this, go behind the rubber. And if you look, it's all new in here. That is not factory. It's all taped up nice and securely. So let's plug it in and see it gets the guy to sit properly. So now on top of all that, what you don't see is a little piece of plastic that hooks the door panel into the body. Isn't that nice? Now, why would you do that, Jeep? Thank you very much. So I have a slight bulge right here. So I have to try to lift this thing up, maybe loosen some screws up so I get this sitting properly, because that's the last of my problems. That hook right there, I gotta get this guy up and over that little hole. Fun, right? But everything else should go right in. See all the wires right there? It's gonna take this off the tension. Let's fight. So it's a major manhandling. What I did was I literally lifted it up and grabbed, you see, I grabbed it up and manually put it in that hole. That's what you gotta do. So 2 more torques. This thing is sitting nice and flush. I'm gonna put everything back and then we're gonna change the speakers later. So listen, this is on you. So like it, don't like it, share, don't share, subscribe, don't subscribe. Thanks for watching.